Hello, my Toutsuki, and today, guys, I'm here to do another anime review, and this anime review is to Shokugeki no Souma Season 4, Episode 3, guys, or Food Wars Season 4, Episode 3, guys. So, let's get into it. So, guys, in this episode of Shokugeki no Souma, we instantly go straight into the second stage, the second exam that the rebels need to fight. And during this part, we gotta say, how freaking so far though, these judges, like, these exam judges, how greedy, how childish they are. Because, trust me, like, how they try to sabotage the team, how they try to sabotage them, it was pathetic. So childlike, so stupid, especially of how much teaching they were getting from Arena, because that made sure what helped them win in the end, alongside their own skill as a chef as well. So, first up, the dish they had to create was noodles. They had to make a noodle dish. They have to make a noodle dish. And the location they were in, the location they were in Hokkaido, is famous for making noodles, making noodle-based dishes. And the thing is, they have to do it individually. They have to make their dish individually, but in separate orders, obviously. But individually, they have to create their own dishes. And while they get split into the groups, the people that were left behind to the end, was of course the rebels. The rebels were the ones that were left behind to the end before they get taken to the next hall. And obviously, we know what happened during those parts, and we know, in fact, we did find out that there was already pre-ready ingredients, ingredients already prepared for people to use. That's what they're supposed to do. Use the pre-already made ingredients to make this noodle dish. And if there was no ingredients left, you have to go out and get them. You have to get those other ingredients. But the thing is, the location they were at was on the mountains where the snowstorm. So obviously the idea of actually going somewhere to get the ingredients that you need is going to be very hard or near up impossible. Which, obviously when it came to the people who had to go in last, which in case were the rebels, the ingredients were already pretty much gone. Nearly all the ingredients, except for a few bits and pieces, already gone. But the main ingredient they had to have was noodles. Noodles was the only thing, which is the main ingredient they had to use to pass the exam, that pass this stage, was already gone. There was no noodles left. So at this point, you might feel like they're going to lose, they can't make a dish. Well, wrong, because what are noodles made of? Wheat. They're made of wheat. Don't forget that, guys. And what type of food are wheat? What type of food is wheat? And if you is not what it is, it's carbon. It's carbon. I'm trying to get the proper word. I can't fully remember the word. It's carbonated. You guys know. A lot of carbon in wheat. There's a lot of carbon. So that means you can pretty much use any other item that can be grounded into making a form of pasta, a form of noodles. What other ingredient can you use? What other ingredient that this location of Hokkaido is famous for? And that is potatoes. Pretty much what they end up doing, the rebels, they made a noodle dish majority out of potatoes. I feel like, fucking hell! Like, I was somewhat aware that you can use potatoes as noodles, but there was a lot of the things in this noodle dish they had to cook, they just used mostly potatoes for. Like, the thickening of the broth was made of potato, and the powder they had to use, excluding flour, because there was no flour left. There was no flour left either. And the powder they had to use was potato again. It was a kind of grounded potato. And like some of the toppings were potato, and I was like, that's a lot of potato there. But they used it in a way to make it feel plentiful, especially that there was different types of potatoes. As there were different types of potatoes, they were able to balance out flavors a lot more easier than they would do if they used the same goddamn potato. Because, after all, in the end of the day, they just used just potatoes. And if an ordinary chef was just using just potatoes, then more likely most people might feel like they just use one type of potato, not a certain type of potatoes. Because if you think about it, every single potato, any type of potato, will have a certain taste, texture to it. So obviously, if you combine them together, even though they're just potatoes, they do come out a fucking good dish. Even though the overall dish is just potato. Which is quite interesting. Like, Souma, except for the bacon part, majority of the... Remember in the first fucking episode of Shokugeki no Souma? He got forced into making, because his diner was about to get shut down because these people want to make land out of it. They want to make some buildings out in that location. What made him able to save the dish is because what makes him able to this place shut down if they couldn't serve the food. The food that he ends up serving to the girl who said he ordered meat, which because all the meat except for the bacon was spoiled. He had to make a meat dish. And the only meat really available was bacon, but that wouldn't be classed as a proper meat dish in their eyes. So, what did he make a juicy meat? What was he able to make a juicy meat out of? Because of the bacon, he was able to get the meat aspect out. But don't forget, meat dishes doesn't mean it just need to focus on the meat. They also need to focus on other things. It just means the main ingredient must be the meat, which obviously the bacon part was. But what makes it juicy is not just the fats of the meat, but also the filling side, the potato. Majority of that, excluding the bacon, was potato. And that's what I feel like this episode was like somewhat of a throwback to what happened with Souma during the first episode. Is that the main dish he had to create was in the end of it, just potato. Just fucking potato! And the others. The reason why they were able to succeed, because of Arena teaching them of the basic process of how potatoes work. But then, after learning those basic process, how potatoes works, they were able to figure out how, by themselves, how they can use those potatoes in their dish. How they make a noodle dish out of potatoes. Which I feel like, fucking yeah! You just grab them like you just beat them out without fucking hitting them. Which is your fucking food. I'm like, fucking yeah! I'm sorry, I'm hyped. I'm sorry if I don't make any sense there, but because after all, if you don't understand cooking, like, even me with technical words, I'm not very good at technical words, I will still understand what the hell they're talking about, because like I said, I do cook, so I know a lot of cookers, I just don't know how to say or actually know the proper technical words for them, I just know what they mean by it. So, anyway, that was quite fun to notice what they just did there. Now, next part of this episode was, because it said split into two halves, was supposed to be a break episode, or it should be a break time. It should be free time. And what I mean by free time is that they did get free time, but this free time was, again, sort of sabotage in a way. Because on the roster, as they said it actually on their roster, and they weren't actually aware that their rosters, each other's roster was actually different, like the timetable on their roster was different they were different for each team. They were different for each people. Now, he's obviously, since the beginning, on the third stage, they were all going to get split up anyway. And because at the end of their free time, we realised with Souma's group, they were there 30 minutes later than some of the others. And the reason why, because they got deliberately given their rosters to make sure they get separated, so that means they can face the Elite 10. Every rebel must face the Elite 10 to pass their exam. That's what they have to do. They have to face individual members of the Elite 10 so they can pass the third stage of the exam. And I feel like they should really check, just because I think that was quite obvious that one of the things they're going to try and make sure the rebels, try to make sure the sabotage the rebels, would be separate them at some point. Because if they do, they should be aware that they more like, again, believe they maybe were going to get taken on the first stage or second stage. But they should have also still made provisions just in case they did able to pass the second stage. Which obviously they did. They were aware that even though they more like thought at the beginning that they're going to get down with the first or second stage anyway, they thought that even with a slight possibility they might do that, we still need to prepare for what the third stage or maybe the fourth stage is going to do. So obviously in the third stage, they prepared for them to get split up. In case, that's what happened with Souma's group. They were able to split them. They were able to split them with on different trains at different trains at different times. And now we know that the reason why, because now those individual rebels must face each other, the Elite Tens, to pass on to the next stage. And the Elite Ten that Souma must face. Oh, I actually couldn't wait for this moment. I already knew who that Elite 10 that Souma was going to face. I already know who he was going to face. Because I spoiled myself, I freaking researched, and I found out backstory and information about this character. And I was like shocked when I found out he was a part of the Elite 10. Or became a member of the Elite 10. As a character that we all know. I was like, what? I know the reason why he done it, mind you. So that's the reason why I feel like I respect him, even though he's on the enemy side. I still respect him because there is a reason why he joined Central, and that character is Arkia. Arkia, the Spice Guy. I'm just saying Spice Guy because we all know what he's known for, spices. And I've got to say, he is the 10th seat. He is the 10th seat. So he took the place of Arena. I was like, when I found that out, I was like, what? He's the 10th seat now? I was like, what? That's what caught me off. That is what caught me off guard. And now everybody has now got caught off guard. So I can't wait for this scene. For them to find out then that Souma's next opponent was a friend, now has to face him as an enemy. And I feel like, just finding that out really, really got to me when I found that out. I'm just now wondering, to anybody who was not aware of it, I'm just wondering, how shocked are you? How shocked are you? Because even though I was aware of it, I've got to say, I'm surprised how early on we find out that he's gonna face Souma. I knew it was gonna happen. I didn't know when. Now I know it's on the third stage. I'd be like, oh, I can't wait! I want to see the interaction between Souma and Arkia and the rest of the rebels, and wanting to know why he decided to join Central and fight against them. And that's what gets me wondering. Obviously, I already know why he joined it, but I don't know. I want to see what led up to it. I just want to see what led up to it. So that's something really interests me about this section. So. The episode ends with Arkia standing on the balcony, looking down at everybody else, looking badass, pretty much. Like I said, his new art style. The art style he's been given, oh god, I love his art style. Like, new outfit, his new look looks fucking good. I gotta mention that. He looks fucking good. So, yeah, I'm just saying right there. And overall, that's all I've got to say about the episode in general. The animation looked fucking good as usual. Fucking good as usual. We just got to say that. Also, the foodgasms, they were brought down quite a bit in this episode. There was not much foodgasm going on. Like, there was foodgasm, but they weren't too expressive. I'm just gonna mention that there. So, yeah, but overall, episode was fucking good. I fucking loved it, especially at the end. It was so fucking good. And And yeah, when it got to the break, the 3-time situation, I was speculating that I was feeling, because the way it was setting up, I feel like the trains were going to get sabotaged. Or my personal thing was that they were not going to be able to make it to the train. The train was going to leave without them. And I was sort of right. But the thing is, they were still able to get onto a train, but not the train that everyone thought they were going to go on. So I was pretty much, I got it spot on that. I got it pretty much spot on that they were pretty much going to miss a train, and that's how they were going to get sabotaged for the next event. And I was roughly right for that section, so that was something I'm surprised they did get right. And overall, that's all really I got to say about this episode. Hey guys, that's my review to Shokugeki no Souma Season 4 Episode 3, guys. Or Food Wars Season 4 Episode 3. Hope you guys, thank you for watching chat fans today. If you guys want to stuff out, go in the description down below. My address there, and yeah. And also guys, if you want to follow me, help me on Patreon, my Patreon is down there as well. And also guys, if you want to help me on Facebook, if you want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or let me know, these are the searches you must do on Facebook, and let me know, just search Connor Travis, the same name as my channel. Or if you want to follow me on Instagram, just search at Connor Travis 1998. Hope you guys, anyway guys, I hope you guys like it, comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you guys later. Bye guys! Wow!